Hey guys, just a disclaimer before this video starts. The audio file from the microphone was lost when I was trying to edit this video, so we decided to use the audio from the camera microphone instead, which coincidentally we did not review in our previous review of that camera. We should have, but I just couldn't get rid of this recording. My dog was being adorable in it. So if it's a little less high quality than usual and you hear some more background noises, I apologize. Thanks for watching.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Trevor.
I'm Griffin.
And we're the Blue Bears. And in the video today, we're going to be discussing a topic that Griffin sort of grazed over in the last video. Now if you haven't seen that last video, it's a review of the Nikon D3100 camera. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now, but come back. So
Very demanding.
yeah, do it. In that video, Griffin talked about how we would be making another video describing how we were able to make the money in the first bit of summer to purchase the camera and the lens. And as you can probably tell by the title of this video, it does involve collecting or gathering bottles and cans. And I don't feel like doing the specifics, so Griffin can do that.
Thanks, Trevor. Now at the beginning of summer, we kind of, we already had a plan that we were going to get this camera set up, and we needed money, and I'm not old enough to get a job, and he's old enough to get a job. Hey Trevor, why don't you get a... Okay, but we were hearing around from people. They would just talk about how the bottle redemption value for bottles went up in Oregon from 5 cents to 10 cents, and we were thinking that might be a good way to make money. If you don't know what bottle redemption is, it's when you take recyclable bottles and you recycle them for money. They give you a reward for recycling them to give you incentive to recycle and try to save the earth. And Oregon's a pretty big state for that, so this dog. So what we decided to do is start collecting, and in most states like Oregon that actually do this, you'll be able to redeem most plastic bottles, like water bottles, and wait one second. Movie magic. Most glass bottles like this that you'll see with soda and like beer. Most beer bottles, most aluminum cans on the top, it'll say, and most water bottles and plastic bottles that you see like this for, soda. Now, there aren't that many states, considering all 50 states, that actually do this, but I can read the main ones out. They're on top of almost all aluminum cans. There's California, which is almost every recyclable bottle. And then there's Michigan, Vermont, Maine, New York, Iowa, Massachusetts, Oregon, Connecticut, and Hawaii. So it's if you live outside of those states, you're probably not going to be able to make money doing this, but if you live inside of them, you probably can. So when you're collecting bottles, we'll get to how you do that later. It's you can take bottles that kind of look like this, but we take the time to check them, so it's not an extra hassle to take care of those, because we want to make sure that we're getting money for what we're carrying. Just as a general rule of thumb, hard liquor bottles, like whiskey, they have some exceptions, but usually they're not redeemable, and wine bottles. Now, here's my brother Trevor with how we did this.
Okay, thank you for for that, Griffin. Those were some pretty interesting facts. But now, like Griffin said, to how we were able to do this. How were we able to get so many bottles? And by the way, we've gotten over 2,000 bottles, and we're still going strong.
And we haven't been pursuing this as actively as we could. Like, we could be going, like, we go almost every day, but we could go every day, you know, and more places.
But like Griffin mentioned earlier, we do live in a population dense area, so there's a lot of apartment complexes and stuff. And what do you need in an apartment complex? You need a place to throw away all your trash and recyclables. We have a couple of these spots, 3 or 4, depending on how you're counting. 4th one's not really useful.
With your fingers.
Okay. But literally all we do from there is look through the bottles and...
We wear gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, wear gloves because... So, here we are at one of our stops where we collect bottles. This is at an earlier time of day than we usually collect, so there's not that many bottles here, but this is for the purpose of demonstration. You could see my brother putting on his gloves there, because, like I'm going to say in a second, with people's saliva and broken glass, if you cut your finger or something, it can be nasty. So we're looking in the bins, and we generally also look in the big recycle dumpster, just to see. Sometimes there's big bags of bottles that people have saved up as recyclables. And we usually bring them around or carry around boxes, but we have a 6-pack here instead.
You know what people have been doing to those bottles?
If you get in there and there's people's saliva and broken glass, it can get nasty.
Like, it's about to get nasty, you know what I'm saying?
And so we just look through the things, and pretty much we carry... You can probably, if you have another method of transportation, you can probably use that, maybe drive around to stops, but then you get in there and you pretty much look through the bottles. It's a fairly simple process. If you're in a state like this, I just want to warn you that there will probably be other bottle collectors doing this, so what we do, Trevor, can you explain to avoid that?
We go before anyone else does. That's how we get so rich.
Yeah, most other people have to time this to get off work, or
we do it so good
later at night so they can get the whole day, but we just go right before them. And you'll have to get a feel for the area, you know, that you're collecting in. Actually, yeah, let's go to a clip of us doing this at one of our... Alright, you can see this is a shot of the sign leading into the bottle drop redemption area, and here's the outside of the store. So what we did is we went in the store and grabbed these carts that they have, and they're pretty much for transporting your bottles around. And here's inside our car that we're using to take the bottles, and we're loading the bottles into the carts, and then we're going to take them into a store. We're probably going to have to go for a second run here because we brought a lot of bottles. Now here's the inside of the store. When you get inside the store, you're going to wait in line usually for a little while, but then you're going to see these machines, and these machines are really cool. Basically they're in the wall like ATMs, and they have a hole in them where you can put these bottles, and it goes down a conveyor belt, and it gets scanned for the barcode, and if it's found in the database to be redeemable, then it goes to the end and gets sorted. If it's not, it'll get rejected and pushed out. And basically what you want to make sure that the barcode it's not really messed up because it's based on barcode, but if it is, you can go to the help section there's a help area where you can get them redeemed anyway, so that's pretty cool. They have pretty good quote customer service, just a really good, at least where we redeem. I just think it's really cool to see the bottles get sorted. Oh, I forgot to mention that stores have these as well. They're not as fancy as this, but like larger retailer stores can have these centers in them, and you redeem for store credit instead of cash. So you're gonna see we're loading up a second time because we brought a bunch of bottles. This wasn't actually a large run for us. We've had a lot bigger. We weren't really active over this. I think it was a week that we got these bottles. I'm gonna play a time lapse of the bottles going. Ha! You thought you were gonna have a bass drop. Anyway, when you're done redeeming your bottles, you take the little slips of paper that you got, and they have a little barcode on them, and you put them in this machine, and you select payout, and you get your money. It's pretty simple. Alright, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, still hit the like button and leave a little comment saying I did not like. We want the likes and